Welcome, Mr. Krishnan, to this important Wise Mantra series. Thank you for taking out your time. We would like to discuss with you on this menace of attrition. What do you think the attrition menace is affecting the companies across? What is your take, Mr. Krishnan?
Thanks, GP. Thanks for talking to me and thanks for the opportunity. Look, attrition has become a problem in the recent past. And I think there are multiple reasons for it. In the last 2 years, I think because of the COVID and the pandemic, I think consumption had come down. People were more closed into their homes. It was more of work from home and a hybrid culture. So general consumption levels and needs of people had come down. So now slowly the economy started opening up. People know how to handle the COVID, this thing. The second wave also gave us a learning. So now we have learned to live with it. So, so demand is coming back slowly. So there's a latent demand. There is new demand. So demand is slowly coming back into the system. And obviously when demand increases, and especially in consumer-facing industries and consumption-oriented industries, when there is more demand, you need more supplies and more products, so you need more people. So that is one dimension of it. I think the other thing is that all of us would have also heard about this term, the Great Resignation. What is also happening is that the COVID has taught people that a lot of we have made our lives very complicated over a period of time. People have learned that you don't really need to step out of the house for an entertainment. You don't really have to go to a Cineplex or something to watch a movie, because you burn petrol, you waste your time, you spend money. The same entertainment is today possible through a Netflix or a Amazon Video. People are not going out much, so expenses in terms of clothing and this thing have come down significantly. So I think what is happening is that people have started taking a fundamental look at their overall life, and a lot of premium is now being attached to quality of life, time being spent with families, my own health and well-being, because in everybody's home, somebody or the other has been affected by COVID, either by themselves or their family or someone very near and dear. Somebody has lost someone. So I think people have started looking at life in a slightly more deeper and a more, in a more fundamental way. So what has also happened is, especially in households where there is a double income, one partner has consciously decided to go slow and get away from the corporate rat race, focus more on the family and well-being. So there is a significant portion of the talent pool which has decided to look at their careers and their association with organizations very differently. If they are not finding a deeper meaning into the organization, the work and the kind of this thing, they don't want to do that rut that they were into earlier. So there is a supply issue also. So there is a bit of a talent squeeze, and there is high demand for talent, So therefore, the attrition problem is getting even more compounded, So that is the way I would look at the whole problem across the organizations.
Thank you for giving that perspective. So, Mr. Krishnan, so how I know when the attrition is a problem, it's an HR's challenge. So, how do you think the HR professionals are gearing up to manage the additional burden of attrition across?
Yeah, I think it's an interesting question, and it is asked very often. And frankly, there are no easy answers. But, at an approach level, what I would say, what works or what can help in some extent is, I think it is high time that organizations start looking at their relationship with their employees purely on a transactional basis. To think that by increasing just salaries or increasing emoluments or, trying to match the offer is going to help you retain people, I think that is only a very limited and part of the story. I think people are today looking at organizations to provide a deeper connect. They want organizations to be invested in their lives from their, health perspective, from their wellness perspective, the meaning in their work perspective, their engagement perspective. So I think organizations are, and many organizations are doing it. Like if I see even our own organizations, we went out of the way when people were struggling through the COVID phase to help people with their hospitalization needs, ensuring that every employee in their family is vaccinated. If vaccine shortage is there, ensuring camps are held, following up people to get their vaccinations done. When oxygen shortage was there, we ensured, we even asked people, if you have a problem, we imported oxygen concentrators from overseas at cost and gave it to people, not only our employees, but even our trade partners. We ensured that oxygen concentrators are there in every plant, every branch, a bank of concentrators. The people just take it and give it back after using. We modified some of our policies on mediclaim and education, etc. And we said that in case there is a demise of a member of the family and our employee is no longer there, the family will be supported for about 5 years' time in terms of mediclaim support, education support, etc. So people are looking at a more deeper connect and investment of the organization in their health, wellness, and especially in an organization like Havells, there's a lot of focus on culture fit and alignment to the values. So even if a person is capable, when we hire, we put a lot of emphasis on ensuring that it comes from the right culture fit for the organization. So I think people have to think beyond transaction, beyond money, beyond material benefits alone. Well, they're important, but I think they're slowly getting relegated to hygiene parameters. That alone will not help you either retain people or attract people. So your whole employee-employer relationship has to be fundamentally relooked in a very different way. And in the talent market, and employers are very clearly giving indications and signals as to how this equation has to be redefined. And people who are doing it well and properly will win the war for talent. And people who continue to remain in the transactional space will struggle to win this war for talent. That is what I would say.
Oh, very well said. Mr. Krishnan, many experts like you have opined that there will be some attrition, partly because of the competition, partly because of the aspiration of the people, or maybe sometimes is a misfit. But you get worried when it crosses a particular limit. So as a mantra, just to maintain the attrition to be within those reasonable limits and to improve your retention, what is that one thing the managers have to do in the companies?
Look, I would say be more connected and invested in your team. I think the decision of an employee to leave the organization is not sudden. It builds over a period of time. And if you're an observant manager and if you're invested and connected to your team and your team members, you can pick up early warning signals very quickly. You can pick up the change in the body language, the tone of voice, the passion and commitment which was there, which probably is lacking. So people who pick up those early warning signals and actively engage with their team members to figure out, what is bothering them, what is on their mind, and address it proactively, will be able to retain their people. Because it again comes back to, the relationship between the manager and supervisor and the team being beyond transactional to being invested in my, because as a person, when I come into office, I come as a complete package, So I need to relate to that package in totality, to my intellect, to my emotion, to my, to my health, to my well-being. So if you're able to connect and pick up those early warning signals of discord and start addressing it before it grows into a larger issue, then those managers will be able to retain their team. And you need to be invested because everybody has aspirations. Everybody has career aspirations, they have life aspirations. So if you can partner with your team in helping them achieve those journeys and milestones of their aspirations, I think then you'll be able to retain the team well, and you have to enhance that stickiness with the organization and that's what I would say.
Oh, very well said. In fact, you have retained my attention throughout the interview today. Thank you so much. Thanks for taking out your time and sharing your perspectives, insights, tips to manage this menace of attrition, keeping it in a reasonable levels. And your words are like mantras to all the listeners. Thank you so much.
Thank you, GP. It was great interacting and wonderful talking to you. Thank you so much.